What's up, everyone? I'm coming to you with wet, crazy hair today, but that's okay. What's going on? So what I've noticed this morning is that I didn't meditate long enough. What does that mean? I'm efforting a lot more today. I'm not taking aligned action because I didn't take enough time for myself this morning to connect and center, and my kids are feeling it. Simple example. Chips spilled on the floor. Like, it's not a big deal. Well, it was a big deal to me. So stupid, right? So this is the importance of taking time for yourself, getting centered, getting grounded, and looking at life from a higher perspective. And so that's what we're going to talk about today is how do we live life and play the game from a higher perspective? How do we approach life with a bird's eye view, eagle eyes, up above, right? How do we look at life and know that everything is happening for us, that everything is happening for our greater good and for us to step into the highest version of ourselves? How do we live a life that is moving toward freedom instead of away from fear? And so when we are living life from a human, small perspective, right? Like down on the ground, looking straight ahead. What's your view? When you're standing on the ground, looking straight ahead, what is your view? There's all kinds of shit in your way, right? Like I'm sitting here, I can see the park across the street, but there are a whole bunch of trees. I can't see through the trees. And so it's like a metaphor for life. When we're just standing on the ground and having a simple perspective about everything and making it about us, all about us and what we can see, you can't see through the obstacles. And there seems to be so many obstacles. And we're looking out for them, right? We're looking like, oh God, what's next? We're planning for the next worst case scenario. And this is how most people are living their lives. This is how most people are playing the game. But when we can tap into the highest version of ourselves, our inner being, that which is connected to light, love, source, then we can look at life from a higher perspective because we are tapped in to the perspective. All we have to do is know the knower. And when we know the knower, we can view life from the perspective of things are happening for me, not to me. And so you think about an eagle flying through the sky. They have amazing eyes, right? They have super, super amazing vision. And they're so high up above everything that they can see everything all around them for miles. They're operating from a perspective that is not just about them, that is not singular and on the ground. They are free. Have you ever closed your eyes and just imagined yourself as an eagle flying through the sky? Like, do it with me. I mean, can you imagine being up there, soaring through the sky, seeing everything for miles, having such a beautiful sense of security of what is to come, and seeing the web, the connectedness of everything all around you, how it's all playing out together. And it's hard for us to wrap our minds around the interconnectedness of the universe. But it is a giant web of energy. We are all truly, truly connected. There is nothing happening independent of something else. It is all connected. And this is why when we want to step into opportunity and a higher version of ourselves, we have to like release the how, right? Sorry, my hair is annoying me. We have to release the how. Like that's the biggest thing. You have a desire, right? You state it, you feel it, you tap into that feeling, but you have to release the how. And we are so drawn to wanting to control everything because of fear, because so many of us operate out of fear, where instead of moving toward freedom, we are moving away from fear. And I don't want to live my life moving away from anything, because that's no fun. Because when you're moving away, you're always focused on like the gap in between, right? How much distance can I put between me and my next bill, right? How much distance can I put between me and the next time I have to walk through the doors at my job? How much distance can I put between me and the next loss? Instead of looking at moving toward freedom, which means that we're moving toward opportunity and we're focused on opportunity and we're focused on a vision. So if you don't really know where you're going in life, if you don't really know, now I'm talking about outside of your family, outside of your kids, I'm talking about you as a sovereign being of light with a unique offering for this world. What is your dream? I don't care if you're 60 years old. It is never too late to stop dreaming. What do you want to do? What are your dreams? If there were no limitations, right? Because there are none. Write down your dreams. This is how we live life from a higher perspective. We have a large vision, a huge, crazy, expansive vision. And do you know what you focus on? You focus on the vision. That's freedom. When you focus on where you want to go and it's huge and it's massive, you become so inspired. And when you become inspired, the world around you becomes inspired. Because this is how energy works. And so let's talk about it in terms of sports. I was watching a podcast. I don't even know what it was. I was like browsing through YouTube. And this guy was talking, he was telling a story about when he was younger, he was an athlete and he was playing in a championship basketball game. And I think there was like, they were up by 1 point. They were up by 1 point. And what happened is he was one of like the star players. What happened is there were like 5 seconds left in the game and the coach pulled him out and put a kid who typically had been on the bench most of the time in to sub him. What ended up happening is the guy that was being guarded was left open and he made a shot and won the game. And so this, 40-year-old man has been walking around with this burden of, he took on the responsibility for losing the game, even though he wasn't in the game. And so this is the scenario that he created in his mind. What he created in his mind is that the coach pulled him from the game. And because he didn't argue with the coach and say, no, coach, I've got to stay in, he lost the game for the team. Wow. Doesn't that like speak volumes to the scenarios, the ideas that we create in our head about how we are to blame for one thing or another? And so like that is a very singular view, right? And I'm not judging him for that. He was a kid. He was 17 when it happened. But that's huge. And this is the importance of like communicating with our kids about the game and about the loss. Like there is just as much value in the loss as there is in the win. And like, that's real shit. That's not just me talking. Like that is so true. Do you believe that? Tell me if you believe that in the comments. There is just as much to gain with a loss as there is with a win. There always is. There always is. And this is operating from a higher perspective. Because yes, we can make it about the win. Oh my God, I'm mad, I'm pissed. We didn't win. We should have won. This person did that. This person didn't do that. Or you can view it from a higher perspective and know that the divine is always working for you. That this massive source creator that we have looking out for us is always working for us, not against us. And you know, maybe that team, who knows? Who knows what scenario was going on in that other team? Maybe that was someone's last game ever. Maybe that was someone was diagnosed with cancer, after that and never got to play again. And that was their last win. Like, you have no idea what the circumstances are. And so if we can shift our mindset to look for the positive that has come from any situation. And why did I create that situation? Because we are the creators. This shit is all a hologram. I am a hologram. Like, we are literally walking around creating our reality. And again, that's hard for us to wrap our brain around, because our brain it's a human construct. It's our humanness, right? And the other point I want to make is the way that you can intentionally step into a life of higher perspective is to live life through your heart and not just your mind. Because boy, we come out the womb and immediately it's all about the mind. You think about a baby. A baby is laying there so precious. Oh my gosh, feel into the energy that you experience when you hold a little sweet baby. It is so precious. Oh my gosh, it is so, so divine and beautiful and grounding and opening and touching. So you got this little baby, and this little baby gets everything given to it. This baby doesn't have to ask for a damn thing. There's zero resistance there, because they come knowing. They come knowing that everything is working out for them. They come knowing that the world is working for them, not against them. They come operating directly only from their heart. Only from their heart. And so the knowing that you have your brain, right? You've got your logical brain and you've got your heart brain. And like, how do we take those and just smash them together and operate mostly from the heart? And how does that benefit us? Well, your brain, your logical brain, is here to keep you safe. They really are serving the same purpose. We just don't want to let the logical brain take over, because then we're a slave to it and we're always planning for the next worst case scenario. So your brain is here to keep you safe, right? Your brain says, all right, what do I need to do to stay safe in this situation? If I'm being chased by a lion, or if I need food, water, or air, like, what do I need to do to keep this body safe? You know why? So that this body can experience freedom, because we're all moving towards freedom. Okay, and then you've got your heart brain, and your heart brain is the feeling. The heart brain is the knowing that you are safe. It's the knowing that everything is working out for you, that everything is working toward your good, whether it's a win or a loss, whether it's a marriage or a divorce, whether it's a birth or a death. It's all working for you. And so when we can take those two, and I actually have, I love that there's this meditation you can do where you actually hold your brain and you hold your heart and you just bring those babies together and you just put them together in a little ball of energy and put them in your heart. But I want you to, a great exercise is the next time that your logical brain just takes over and you are stuck in a spiral of negative thinking, a spiral of fear. You can't stop thinking about the next bill that's coming, or how are you going to buy this, or how are you going to buy that, or are we going to win the championship game? Is my son going to do good in this game? Is he going to hit the ball, or is he going to miss the ball? Like, the next time you find yourself in that like negative spiral, just stop. Just stop for a minute and take a deep breath into your heart and actually visualize the air flowing into your heart. And breathe, just breathe. Breathe and think about your heartbeat, like feel your heartbeat. And come up with a word. Just say a word over and over again as you breathe in, like love, breathe out peace. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. Breathe in love, breathe out peace. And that way you're focusing on a word, and it's going to slow your mind down. And what the breathing does is it slows down your nervous system. And when we start operating from fear, we get into a place where our logical mind doesn't even work. Like, we're not even thinking logically. We think we are because we're thinking about details, and we're thinking about planning, and we're thinking about what if. So we think we're keeping ourselves safe, but in actuality, what you're doing is creating a timeline that doesn't even exist yet. And so when we're living from a higher perspective, with a knowing that all things are working out for our good, we are laying out a path in front of us that is literally creating good things in our life. We are not fear casting. Fear casting, like, you can get what that means from the term, right? It's like thinking of all of the negative things that could happen out of a situation. What if we shifted our mindset and decided to believe that everything that we wanted was going to work out for us? That everything that we wanted was going to unfold exactly as our dreams predict, instead of things aren't going to work out and I shouldn't take a chance because there's no chance that it's going to work out. Because we're creating our reality. We are creating our timeline. We are building our future based on our thoughts. So when you can create a big vision and view it from up here instead of down here, this is where all the magic happens. This is when life becomes delicious. So something to think about, but a great practice again. Anytime you go into fear, anytime you go into stress, anytime you go into anger, anytime you go into a negative, low vibration emotion, focus on your breath. It will seem silly at first, but it really works. And even better, if you can go outside, put your feet on the ground or lean against a tree and take some nice deep breaths, focus on some words. Breathe in, I am, breathe out, safe. Breathe in, I am, breathe out, safe. Really, you can do anything that works for you, whatever resonates. So, well, that's my message for today. Living from a higher perspective. This is when life gets delicious. And the more you do it, the more you become intentional about the way that you're viewing life, the easier it becomes to view it in that way. And you will notice that things will shift around you. The people that you experience, the places that you go, the things that you call into your life, it will all 10x. You just have to be consistent. And you have to do it in a way that allows the universe to respond. Because yes, we can manifest instantaneously, but typically you've got to offer the universe some space and time in order to let all of these points of focus come together energetically. But the first step is energy. The first step is your thought and your feeling. Have an awesome day. I love you so much. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I'll be back next week. Bye-bye. Love y'all.